Namaste, it's Michelle Skaletski-Boyd, the corporate woo-woo, your soul journey guide. So as you can see, I'm here off the grid and I just really needed some time away. I didn't realize, I knew I was an empath, you guys, but I had no idea until you get a child who has special needs, who comes into your life, who is filled with rage and anger, and who has suffered abuse and neglect and malnutrition and all of these things. You have no idea how much of that you actually absorb. So last night it started where I was just very angry. Just pissed off at everything. My fuse was very short, and I was like, "What?" My husband kept saying, "What is wrong? What is wrong?" And every little thing he did was irritating me to the point where I kept envisioning myself actually punching him in the face. This is not normal. It's just not. So I was like, what is happening? And the more he tried to ask me what was wrong, the more I wanted to push him away, and the more I visualized physically pushing him with my fist. And so I was like, what? This is so bizarre. And so this morning I woke up after some restless sleep, and one would think that after a night of rest that you would be more at peace. Not the case. It was like all the anger simmered overnight and just started to froth and boil, and I woke up this morning and I was filled with rage. If you know the Incredible Hulk, story of the Incredible Hulk, it was like that. It was like 1 minute I'm David Banner, and the next minute I am, and really bad. And so I attempted to first meditate. That did not work. I did not want to, it just was irritating. And so then I thought, well, I need to really work out. And so I put I'm off the grid. So I put my DVD or CD, I should say, into my computer, one of my computers that has a DVD or CD reader, and it didn't work. And I was like, it it made me even more upset. And so my husband, again trying to be helpful, said, well, perhaps you're just not supposed to be um, exercising today. And I blew up like there's no tomorrow. I called him names. I told him to F off. I was really, really, really angry. And he, of course, was like, what in the heck did I do? He had no clue. And so thankfully, I have a punching bag. And so I put my boxing gloves on and I set up my punching bag, and I kicked the punching bag and punched the punching bag so hard that it fell to the ground at least 4 or 5 times. I have not had that kind of rage in me in a long, long, long time. Afterward, when I was totally exhausted, I let the sun just kind of cleanse my body just so that I could return my heartbeat to a somewhat normal rate. And then I came back into the home and I went into my bed and I crawled into a fetal position and I just cried. And then I heard my higher self, God, source, my angels, they were all around me. And they said, you realize that most of that wasn't even yours. Wow. That was some heavy stuff. And so about 2 minutes later, my husband came in and he sat very carefully next to me, put his hand on my back, and he said, are you okay? And I said, only about a quarter of that anger was mine. And he said, wow. Now, he's been married to me over 20 years, so he knows. But I had forgotten that I'm an empath and that I take on even anger. It had been a long time since I took on someone else's anger. And so if you're an empath and you take on anger, rage, upset, impatience, etc. of other people, first of all, it's important that you recognize it. Self-awareness is key. Second of all, trust that what you're feeling is accurate, even though you might not be able to name it or know where it's coming from. And then my best advice to you is to not let it build. I had let it build. It's been almost 6 months since we've taken in this little foster kiddo. And let me tell you, I had a lot of buildup. And so what I'd like to just let you know is that if you're there, if you're at that point where you're impatient, you're angry, you're rageful, you're upset, people say it's like walking on eggshells around you. If you're in that place, or you're feeling like everyone else around you's there, because I was accusing other people of being there, even though it was me, they're reflecting back to me. If you're there, my best advice to you is to go punch, go kick, go yell. Try not to take it out on someone else. My poor husband heard some horrible things come out of my mouth. And thankfully he knew that that really wasn't me, but I feel awful at this point, and it's going to take some damage control now, some repair, and lots of love. So what I would like to advise you is to not let it get that far. If you've allowed it to get that far, then you know you have, and you know what to do about it. But if you're just at the point where you can feel it starting to simmer, please do some exercises. Please jump. Please yell. Please to try and meditate, to try and go into a calm place. It's not possible when you have that much anger in you. And so let it out. Scream and jump and exercise and dance and force yourself to laugh. Even if you're a crazy laugh, right? Do whatever you need to do, because it's very, very important for you and for all of those who are around you. Now, obviously, I'm putting myself in a vulnerable position by sharing my story, but I know there are others of you who will benefit. And so, that being said, take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Trust that if you're not yourself, and you can feel all this anger, rage, etc. brewing in you, that it's been brought to you as an empath for a reason, and you need to do something with it. So rather than contain it or try to hold it inside to the point where you're just going to wait until you blow up like a volcano, take it and do something with it immediately, as soon as it comes in. Be proactive and find some healthy outlets before it's too late. Okay? All right, guys. Hope that helps. By the way, I'm feeling way better, way lighter, a little bit embarrassed by my behavior. But again, thankfully, my husband and I have a strong marriage, so he understands, and we will work it out. Okay? All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.